Welcome back. If you are a SolidWorks user looking for start using Autodesk Inventor and ramp up very quickly, this is the video for you. I'm going to cover specific things that I know that people struggle in when starting using Autodesk Inventor if they have background in SolidWorks or sometimes any other CAD software. Okay, let's go with templates. So when you create a new part, you're going to have this templates to choose from. You're going to have templates in inches, templates in millimeters. You have sheet metal and the standard. Well, in between sheet metal and the standard, there are not much difference, just this like kind of a shortcut, because if you jump into sheet metal, you're going to first see the sheet metal features. If you choose the standard one, you're going to have modeling tools, but if you can switch in between both, I mean, you start with standard template and then you jump into sheet metal. That's not a problem, and the other way around as well. So let's go with the DIN standard in this case. The differences in between some of these templates are the orientation of the triad against the home position. And this is not that important, I would say. Millimeters are millimeters. Okay, so let's start with the user interface. So you have a series of ribbon tabs at the top. You can scroll for change them as well as in SolidWorks, but inside each of the panels, I think in each of them, not all, the 3D model one, you have this option for turn on, turn off some of the panels that are inside this this ribbon environment, right? So you can choose from the list and deselect as you require. The other thing is the customization. SolidWorks is very special on the customization because it lets you do a lot of things from the perspective of organizing your environment. So in here, I can organize my panels as well. That's not a problem. And I can customize my right-click options, all this marking menu that responds to mouse gestures that say right-click, hold, and then you move in the direction of the command based on this or tools. So you can customize this, and you can also add more commands by just setting the control on your keyboard and right-click option. So you will have more options to choose from, and depending on your workflow, depending on how repetitive are the things, you can just start moving by doing mouse gestures, and that's going to be very, very convenient. Okay, so how do we customize this? Well, here on the Tools tab, we have the Customize option, and I started on the marking menu, so you have keyboard as well. So let me, yeah, there you go. So you can at any time do the set of your keyboard shortcuts at any moment. Something that I used to do is to change SolidWorks to the settings of Autodesk Inventor, because this is my first CAD software package that I started using back in the college. So it can be the other way around. You can set Autodesk Inventor to SolidWorks by customizing this. It shouldn't take long. Okay, so now let's jump into the marking menu. This one, you need to select first the environment. Usually, if you are in parts and you start this customization process, it is going to show you the environment that you are at. So in reality, no need to select in here. But what is a need to select in here is this other one. the sub environment. So for example, we have here the the control plus right click menu that I said before. So as you can see, I already have some section view and section view, shade with edges, and wireframe display. So for example, in order to add something new, let's use a let's use extend. So I will have all the extents that the program has. Of course, not all them is based on the environment, right? So I will say that in this position, I want the extend. This is under the repairs. This is extend surface. Yep, this one. I want this one there. Perfect. Okay. So now I click OK, and the next time I hold the Control key and then right click, I have this command available. So, all right. Oops. Could not, because there is no surfaces. Okay. Perfect. That was on environment. So you can customize your environment. Okay, let's go into sketches. There are many ways to start a sketch, as well as in SolidWorks. You can click one of the origin planes that, by the way, we have access as well, not as in SolidWorks that we have only planes. We have access and point center as well. Well, in SolidWorks we have point center point. When you click one of the planes, you are going to have this icon for create a sketch, and you will see that depending on your selection, you're going to have different options. We will see later. Of course, there is the option of just click in here at the left top, or you can hit the S key and you will be right into the selection of the plane. I will select the XY plane, and I will do something extremely simple, because at the end I'm not pretending to be this a modeling tutorial. This is more concentrated on SolidWorks users. Okay, so you have the same tools that you used to have. That's nothing new. By the way, we have the slot and the arc slot, which are great tools. We have same thing that we have in SolidWorks as well. There are some more specific splines, I have to say, very specific ones, and that are very useful depending on the situation. We have here the projection options that we are going to check later, maybe. We have regular stuff, but one of the things that I see people more struggling when they start using SolidWorks is the constraints. Okay, so very quickly, let's say that I need to have this line in contact with this circle, and I also need it to be tangent. So if I pick the end of this line and just drag it in here, you can see new icons appearing. There is the tangent, of course the coincident is there. Also it track the quadrants of the circle, so very powerful, to be honest. And of course the center is going to be tracked. If I release my mouse right when I have one of these options, the constraint is created. That's simple. I don't need to two clicks on the different two elements that I want to get in on the relation of the constraint, and nothing to select extra. In anyhow, you can of course create them on the fly. Sorry, too quick. Okay, so we'll call a line, and depending on what I say or what I move, I will have the different conditions. So I started this line touching the circle, but it's not giving me the tangent directly. It is there. There you go. It depends on your position, and you can make a relation in between elements, also moving just them. For example, here is the parallel constraint in between this one and the line. but it is not doing the tangent. Oh, what a pity. No, what you need to do is to just hold the shift key on your keyboard and then move and get parallel and then click. There you go. You have two of these constraints at the same time. Let's say the other way to do it is by pressing the Control key and then right click, and you are going to have the same tools that you have here at the top panel. You are going to have them in here, so very useful. So you can just make the thing by clicking. Okay, so depending on your selection, you're going to have different tools in this environment, right? So as you have noticed, I was looking for the trim tool at my marking menu, but I had something else selected, and I was doing the constraint command, I think. Yeah, I was doing the coincident, and then if I right click when I'm coincident, I have this marking menu. After getting out of that command, I have extra here, the trim. Of course, this is customs. You are able to customize all this. Okay, so let's give a couple of things in here. Oops. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay, 100. Okay, so of course, you can just click and do a mouse gesture. You saw, I will undo with the mouse gesture and then delete with the mouse gesture. I love this software. Okay, so I will now get out of here. Let's finish the sketch. Okay, and let's talk about extrusions and operations that add and remove material, because this is something that also I see people struggling. In Autodesk Inventor, we have one single comment for extrusion. We do not have surface extrusion. And so because of this, you have everything on the same environment. Let me just make a couple of extra lines in here. I want to make this line. Yeah, this is very important. All right, so as you can see, Autodesk Inventor is recognizing each area, each closed area, and you can click on them. You can deselect them as well if you select them by mistake with Control, as any other program in the world. I believe any program can do that. Yeah, I think so. So let me do an interpolation. Let's do that. Yeah, sure. Okay, so it doesn't matter if the lines are coincident in between them. It can be an open sketch with a ton of lines, and you are going to be capable to select specific regions of this. Okay. Oh, well, now I have something to rotate. Great, so we can talk about the rotation in a second. Okay, so I will finalize the idea here. Okay, I will create this extrusion. Let's say, yeah, here you can drag your arrow and you have immediate update on the dimension. You can of course type it. You can change the dimensions by in SolidWorks. People just double click and they have the dimensions. Well, in Autodesk Inventor now you have many ways how to show the dimensions. One is selecting the feature here at the left in the model tree and click on show dimensions. So for example, I click here, I have this one was 45 millimeters. Click update, there you go. Okay. Another method, just because I said that there are many, you can hold your shift key on your keyboard and right click. You're going to have this selection. You can pick what you want to selection as priority, and you can also do it in here at the left top. Okay, so I will select features. So by doing that, it's like going to select them in here. So this same thing, but different path. Okay, so and I find, to be honest, very easy to just keep the shift button and then right click and then select what I'm going to select for have available those tools. Okay, very good. So now I'm going to concentrate on the other thing that I mentioned, that is the fact that we can remove with the same command. And this applies to all the features. So you are going to always have the cut material option in there. So I will turn on the visibility. This is sketch. And as you can see, Autodesk Inventor recognized that it could be a cut, but it could also be an extrusion, adding material. So it depends on where do you drag the arrow, right? So let's say that we are going to make removal of material, but of course we can also change that on the Boolean, or we can use intersect. At the same time, in this same, let's say, floating window, I can just select to make a new body, for example, and that's going to create the new body for me. Okay, as you can see on the folder of solid bodies, I have now 2 bodies. And I can change this whenever I want. I can just say, no, this is going to be an extrusion that is going to remove material. That's all. No dramas. Okay. Very good. Okay, so let's jump into create a new solid body for talk about patterns, because patterns are very special things. So I will create here a new extra solid body. So as you can see, again, I have the solid body, and let me do very quickly a hole that I'm going to, because we have a sketch that is hide it. Well, it's supposed it is should be not visible anymore. There you go. Okay, so let's jump into holes very quickly for make a pattern. This is the thing that I was pretending to do. Okay. So for holes, this is a little bit more let's say you can interact more with the feature. So for example, in the type of just a simple hole, you can hold this edge and just drag it, as well as the arrow. That's something that I really like. You have, of course, clearance holes based on different standards, and you can select the type of head and everything there. Is pretty easy to use. You can also scroll on the value. So if you need something like that, you can do it very quickly. Okay, I will leave this one here. Of course, you have different types of head as well as threads. Something that I definitely have to accept that Inventor is way much better is on complying on the standards. So they already included, based on ISO, well, it's also on DIN, looks like, but well, different type of endings. So you can document your drawings in a more professional way. All right, so I will accept this. And now I'm going to create a pattern, a feature pattern. So when I create a feature pattern, I first start selecting the feature, then select the rotation axis. That was the difference. Okay, very nice. We have our pattern of a feature. Now let's pattern a body. And here's something very important that I want to highlight, and is how solid bodies works in Autodesk Inventor is very important to know. Okay, so if I make a pattern of geometry and that pattern is getting far from the original, let's say body, let's say that this is going to be 50, or no, a little bit more, 60. Okay, if I have it at 60 and I click OK, I'm still having two bodies. This is very important. In SolidWorks, you will be, once the two bodies are separate from each other, let's say they're officially a new body. But no, in Autodesk Inventor, they keep being the same part. So you are going to save a lot of combines operations in the future, trust me. So this is in the case of a feature, because I did a feature, as you can see here, but we can also create patterns for solids. So the solid body itself, I'm just clicking here, but I'm going to have the same result because I'm leaving the option of join that is like keep them on the same solid body even if they are separate, right? So yeah, so you can make a pattern of a body and still be working on the same body. And finally, you can just click on create new body, and then now you have 3 solid bodies on your folder, right? Just to notice, because people sometimes look for that last option when they are looking to make patterns. And yeah, okay. Let's jump into the fillets. Fillets are in SolidWorks are very special. They are very capable. In Autodesk Inventor is as well. So you can make selection of your edges, and you can have the value. In SolidWorks, when you want to have different radiuses in just one operation, you need to go to click an option for create different values or multi-value radiuses. In Autodesk Inventor, you just click here at the plus, and then you have a new set of them. SolidWorks, you cannot group them. You need to go each one by one, because they're going to have a tag, and then you need to go and pick that thing. Okay. So of course, this set can be a different value on dimension, and you can drag the arrow as well. So you can have in Autodesk Inventor one single fillet feature on your model tree instead of having a ton of them, right? Remember, I recommend always to have at the last thing your fillets. Okay. You can also as well make it by not going one by one. You can select filters, let's say, or yeah, filter, let's say, yeah. So in this case, for example, I'm selecting a different one. Oh, okay, let me remove this one. I just clicking on Control and clicking it, since it has the selection on the priority on features, so it was capable to remove all those at once. So let me add one extra one for this one, and I'm going to just drag the arrow. There you go. Let's say that it is going to be 2.5. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Of course, in between bodies, they are not going to be affected. You need to click them separately, of course. So yeah, anytime when I want to add something in here, I just jump into this one and let's say, for example, this one is by selecting the face, the entire face at once, right? Or the loop is for loops, because I saw also that it was capable to do it in other directions. But yeah, okay. Those are the fillets. Let's now jump into parameters, because parameterization of 3D models are key. Okay, so for each of the dimensions that I created on the sketches, for any of the parameters on the solid features that I did, I definitely have parameter. So how do we access them? So parameters, you can find them by clicking here at the panel selection, and you go over, oh my goodness, where is it? Surface parameters, there you go. Okay, so let's jump into parameters. This is one way to find them. They are always available at the Manage tab. You can just click in here, it's exactly the same. Okay, so as you can see, you have just a sequence of D for dimension and the numbers. So you can see some gap in here is because I deleted dimension, I guess, but it is not, let's say, trying to force to dimension to be making the D10, for example, right? So if you deleted this, it's gone, it's gone. Of course, you can use it. You can create your own D10, and here is something important. When you create a new parameter, you click on Add Numeric here at the bottom, and you can choose anything that you want to type. It also is affected by capital letters, just in case. You cannot have spaces. If you have spaces, it is going to give you a problem that you cannot create that parameter. You need to use another connecting element like this underscore thing, and once it is created, you can select it from the unit type, and then you can, of course, create here your parameter, whatever value it is. Okay, so of course we don't make this kind of things just to be there. We want to make some math, right? So let's say I put math just because it came to me, but no. Okay, you can of course use the same things. You don't need the equal sign in this point. Yeah, for example, I would say I want to take the 7 minus let's say D12, and you can make all the math that you expect to do. That's not an issue. Okay, so you can create those parameters on the fly, custom parameters. For example, let me turn on this back. I will. This is after fillets. No, after patterns. No, holes. Yes, here. Okay. Okay. So let's say that this is very interesting. I will remove material from here. I need to select the body. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So I will make a problem for the whole indentation. Okay. So I'm adding this extra extrusion. Then I'm going down here, and well, it didn't crash, but I can right click and redefine and click this face, and there you go. That's simple. Okay, so let's move down. And now when I jump into my parameters, I'm going to have the new extrusion 5 point. Yeah, there you go. There is also the consume by reference. Okay, so if I get back to this extrusion, I can, I think in this zone, sorry. Let's say I will create a parameter for this. It's going to be called T4, and I will add the equal sign, and I will just hit OK. Now I come back to my parameters, and you can see here the T4. So those parameters that are renamed on the fly are going to be on the regular model parameters. They are not going to be user parameters. That's something important to mention. You can control as well tolerancing, but I think that's something for another video. I believe in this moment it's going to be too much for this video. Let me here right click, show dimensions. Yes, so as you can see, I already provide my tolerancing for this dimension. That's something to take in count, more friendly. Okay, so that was parameters. Now let's go into workplanes, because workplanes are very easy. People tend to open this drop-down menu and select one of them, but guess what? You don't need it. You just click on plane, and depending on your selection, you are going to have the resultant. For example, I'm going to pick here 3 points. Look at that. That easy. I got a plane of 3 points, and you can do any combination that you expect. So for example, let's say I'm going to select this edge, and let's see which other. Oh well, I can do two lines, or maybe on the line and a perpendicular reference. And you can also type there the value that you wish, for example 45. So you have full control on that, and also you can just click and drag for half an offset from a certain reference. And well, I have not touched the topic about how to navigate in here on the graphics window. So you have here at the right options that are by default available. Maybe this one is not going to be default for you because I already added. How do you add things to this right comments? So you click on this small arrow and you do the selection of what you want to have available. But yeah, how do I rotate like in SolidWorks with the scroll, right? Well, it is by holding the Shift key and then use the scroll as you used to do it. So you can see here the thing rotating. Okay, if you use the orbit option, there are 3 types of orbit. So one is constraint, and you can select, it's like constrained to a plane, so it doesn't move that easy. I used to use orbit, just orbit, and you can, especially on assemblies, it's really useful, but you can redefine the rotation point by clicking. When you are on the model, you can see that you have this, I don't know how to call it, this thing. So if you click out of it on a point that it is too far, it is going to exit the comment. Let's go back. When you put your mouse cursor over this quadrant, or the quadrants, I mean the middle of the quadrants, you're going to have this other option. It is a rotation like this. When you put your mouse over any of these lines that are at the quadrants, you are going to have this other type of rotation. Okay, and anything inside this is going to rotate about a center. But which center? Okay, well, in here, for example, I lost my center, the original one, so it's moving kind of weird. What I need to do is to just click on the element that I want to become the center. For example, I will select this one. Now everything rotates around it. And you can scroll in and you can click again on the element that you want to be at the center of your rotation point. Okay, well, we're getting a little bit longer than expected. I was expecting to do this very short, but it's a lot of things. But I hope those things are useful for you, so you can ramp up your process and start using Autodesk Inventor. Let me know in the comments if the video has been useful. I will be posting soon the assemblies version of this video, as well as the one for the drawings. Cheers!